I'll call this recommending committee meeting of November 4th to order. Are we in compliance with the open meeting law?
Yes, we are.
And this meeting has been posted in various locations throughout the city. We will move to the first item for a vote on the agenda, and that is Bill number 2008-49. It authorizes the City Council to grant separation waivers for taverns located within larger mixed-use developments, and it's sponsored by Councilman Wolfson. Do we have staff?
Thank you, Margaret. We're planning and development. This text amendment would add a distance separation waiver allowance for projects of at least a minimum size of 15 acres, 250,000 square feet of commercial area, and it has to be a mixed use, which means residential on the same parcel. This would allow for multiple tavern licenses within a center whose focus was restaurants and taverns and entertainment, also having residential component. This is comparable to some projects in the county, particularly their town square, I believe it's called. We believe that this would be an appropriate text amendment. It would still allow the council authority on granting of each license, because each one would still be required to get a special use permit, and also would be required to have the findings for a waiver. Therefore, staff is recommending approval of the subject text amendment.
Could I ask a question? Now, you're talking about minimum distance within the
Center itself.
the center itself. I wanted to make sure about that. Mm-hmm. Do we have any comments, questions from the audience?
Is there public comment?
Yes.
Nan, should I sit over here?
Yes, please, with Mike.
Here, right here.
Right here.
That's good.
Thank you very much. Alex Beaton, B as in boy, E-A-T-O-N. With City Mark Development, we're the developers of the Jewel project in downtown Las Vegas, which we hope to open by the end of the year.
Me too.
We are in very much favor of this bill. My only frustration, though, is the 15-acre size seems awfully large. Jewel is located on a 101,000 square foot site, which would therefore not qualify to be on the 15-acre exception. And we just urge the council, though we want to see this bill passed, we'd like to see that amount, that's the parcel size reduced, so that a community such as Jewel can take advantage of such an opportunity. We've designed in a restaurant space into the building specifically because we believe that's what downtown Las Vegas wants and needs. If someone were to beat me to the punch and have a tavern built across the street or just down the street, the opportunity for me to have a tavern, and I'm very unfamiliar with the tavern licensing law, but it's my understanding we would not be able to do that unless the size of the parcel is reduced. And that's all. I'd like to see the bill passed, but I'd just like to see it on a smaller parcel size. Thank you.
Thank you. Just wait a second.
Sure.
Margot, would you like to make a comment on that, why that amount was selected?
Well, if I may, I don't believe your project has 250,000 square feet of retail either.
It doesn't, no.
No. So this project their project that they're speaking to is a freestanding mixed-use tower within the downtown area, which is an entirely different product than this is referring to. This is for a much larger project where you would have multiple buildings, and within those buildings, that's why this waiver requirement is being called for. Towers such as Jewel or Streamline or Soho or any of the others would, of course, be able to have restaurants with on-sale alcohol, restaurants with supper clubs. But this text amendment is really speaking to multiple buildings. As I said, town square is an example of one, where you would have multiple buildings and multiple tenants in a larger project, and therefore the provision for the waiver is being written for those types of projects. Jewel just simply isn't the same kind of project.
What would happen then, excuse me, what would happen if somebody built across from you? Could you
Again,
explain?
the issue is The on-sale alcohol and the supper clubs were allowed anyway. The taverns is a different kind of project, which is not what is being addressed within the downtown for the freestanding mixed-use project.
So
I just wanted you to have her answer.
right.
And I appreciate your answer, and I apologize.
And so, in other words, we would prefer, for example, Jewel or Streamline or any other high-rise development that is in the downtown community to be more or less like a supper club or a cafe, or where you could sell beer and wine, and the supper clubs, of course, will have an opportunity to sell liquor, but not necessarily a tavern, because I don't think we would want to have a tavern within your facility. You would be better off serving yourself justice as pulling in a supper club to sell those additional beers, wines, and hard liquors under the supper club license versus the tavern license, which you still have an opportunity to serve that, but you would have something in relation to food product
Right.
with the mixture versus a straight-up tavern that what we have before us today. So you do have that opportunity today in the downtown community,
Okay.
and we welcome it.
Great, well, I hope to bring it.
All right?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming. and I'm glad that answered your questions. Did we have any other audience comments? No more public comments? Councilman?
Yes, ma'am. Move for due pass.
If I may, before, just one thing, I believe on the square footage, the 250 Val, I think commercial would be clearer rather than just square feet.
250 what?
1,000 commercial square feet, is that what you're saying?
Commercial is the issue, not there.
She's saying add the word commercial.
Just so there isn't any confusion that it has to do with the residential portion.
Then I would like to amend my motion at this time.
Can I ask Margot this question?
Sure, please come and state your name for the record.
Sure.
I'm sorry, Councilman.
J. Brown, 520 South 4th Street. Margot, how do you define commercial? That's retail?
Retail, entertainment, office.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
So maybe.
Was that a deal breaker?
I'll make sure it's
Sorry?
okay.
Maybe if we put non-residential.
Fine, that's fine too.
All right, let's do that.
I just didn't want there to be
No,
any
no.
confusion that it has to
We
do.
weren't the way it was, just want to have a clarification in case it came up later.
So just to be clear, you're saying that after the word 250,000, you would put non-commercial square feet, or non-residential, excuse me, non-residential
Right.
square feet that
Although
you'd...
I would probably say 250,000 square feet of
Okay.
non-commercial space.
That's how it would read then.
Non-residential.
I'm sorry, non-residential.
All right.
Okay, my motion would be to move for due pass with the addition of adding the 250,000 square feet of non-residential square footage.
All in favor?
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Then we'll move on to...
Good to see.
Take care. We'll move on to the next item for vote, and that is Bill Number 2008-50. It adopts the public services and facilities element of the Las Vegas 2020 Master Plan. It's proposed by M. Margot Wheeler, Director of Planning and Development.
Thank you. This is another one of the elements in order to comply with NRS. This is an element that has essentially been reworked specifically to meet those guidelines. It does not have substantial policy changes, and it has already gone through the public hearing process. This is the step that is necessary in order to place it in ordinance form.
Do we have anybody from the public who wishes to ask a question? Nobody here? All right. Would you wish to make a motion?
Yes, I would like to move for due pass.
All right, the motion has been made. All in favor?
Aye.
The motion passes. And now we go to, I believe, our final public input, which is citizens' participation. Any public comment from anybody? All right, then the meeting's adjourned. Okay, a lot of things to go to tonight, probably.
Who?
Who are you?
No, I'm going to class.
Oh, that's right, you got the class. I didn't know you had one tonight, too.
Yeah.
You're working so hard.
Well-
That matches your suit very nicely.
I tried to line it up.
It looks nice. It looks nice.
Take it.
See you guys.